This is Warframe Grind Video. Guys, this is the Slinger, and this is a Warframe Grind video. Alright, today we're going to talk about the the Gorgon, the Incarnate version. And mine is a Wraith. Let me put it on here right now. And just so you know, I think everybody's saying that the Prisma Gorgon is possibly better, but I'm using a Riven on mine, and the disposition is a hair better on the Wraith, but it's not gonna make or break the difference. It's probably better to still go with the Prisma. However, the Incarnate adapters for most of the weapons are the meta now, and they're so powerful that a lot of the meta has changed. So this is my MR18 account. Just so you know, I'm gonna talk about the Gorgon Wraith in this account. I also have it in my LR3. I don't play my Legendary 3 account nearly as much as I play the 18 account. The reason I started this secondary account, there's nothing nefarious going on. It was because I had pretty much done everything in the LR3 account, and I wanted something to build and not play other games. I tried a couple other games and I just wasn't, you know, I'm too used to being here. So I started this account so that I could build stuff and also get to know, again, how it was for a new player, right? So a lot of people think it's funny because a lot of people say, oh, get good or whatever to like guys when they die or they don't have damage or whatever. But this game is all about your builds. Technique can be learned in a few days. So it's really what you have that makes you a good player, or your system, right? So, or if you hang out with better players. So I'm using a Riven that's critical chance, zoom, and critical damage. The zoom is does not matter. It's stupid. I'd probably rather have a negative. I might re-roll this, but for right now, this is a pretty good Riven. And my stats are 112 for the critical chance, 4.4 for the critical multiplier, and 40 for the status. I'm using galvanized aptitude, hunter's munitions, galvanized chamber. Rhyme rounds in this account, I don't have one fully ranked up, and rhyme rounds, so I'm gonna just use that with this for my viral heat. And then I have a corrupted version here with Bane of Corrupted. I don't have all my corrupteds maxed out, or even all of them in this account. So, excuse me. What I'm gonna put the Gorgon Incarnate as is basically, and let's equip this right now. I just picked this up the other day. The Kuvazar. Alright, so the Gorgon Wraith basically takes over from the Kuvazar. About a year and a half ago, the Kuvazar was I think the most popular or second most popular primary in the game. And then they went and nerfed ammo, which basically killed a lot of the best AoE weapons. I was lucky in my Legendary 3 account. I have everything. So, there you go. No, but I have a prime version of ammo mutation. So I can still use my Tsar in my other account. And then there's certain setups I have that actually give me more ammo. right? But in this account, I do not. I have vigilante supplies. So the czar here in this account, as soon as I go into Steel Path and start playing for any amount, I do run out of ammo. So that's here. Let's go back to the Gorgon Incarnate, or in this case, the Gorgon Wraith, which basically takes the place of the Kuvazar and is possibly better. And here's why. It charges up pretty fast and it doesn't run out of ammo. And it's an AoE weapon. So I don't know what DE's purpose is for basically obliterating certain weapons and then making a replacement for them, for the exact reason that they obliterated the first weapon. I guess because the Gorgon Wraith or Prisma Wraith Incarnate, whatever you have to get a couple headshots to charge it. I'm going to take this in game while we're talking. And, oh, wait. There's something I want to do while we're talking. All right. Go over here. So the Wraith and the Prisma Gorgon Incarnate basically replace the Kuvazar. So there's that. All right, I gotta feed biotics. There we go. Excuse my little amount of stuff in this account. Feed more biotics. Okay, now pheromones. And I'm just gonna do like a chill type video today where I get to just talk, hang out, and let's see what we got here to sacrifice. Alright, so bile. Alright, subsume. Alright, back to what we were talking about. So I guess with the Gorgon Wraith, you get to get a couple headshots. So I think that there was some kind of anecdotal reason that they didn't like the Kuvazar being OP or overused. And now the Gorgon definitely replaces it with, I guess, the fact that you charge it with headshots. So there's a little bit of skill involved, and you can't just go crazy. But so that's not true though, because I have a build that I can go crazy just bombing the shit out of this. Let me see what we got here. We'll go into Steel Path here. Alright, run and gun will work. And then, let me see. Corrupted. Alright, I'll put on something here. That'll work. And Angstrom, need to do a video. Angstrom is so powerful, if I haven't done a video already. So I'll show you how it works in Steel Path right now. Go solo. And you know you can get these obviously from the Davari circuit. I'll check and we'll see after I do a little run here. But for some reason to buy wares, like buy incarnates, they haven't changed that at all since the first 5 came out. They've been on the same 5. I don't know why that doesn't rotate. I guess that's not what they're gonna do. That doesn't make any sense, but
Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary.
who would know, right? Alright, so you get your head charges here. There you go. I'm gonna keep this video chill. I might even just leave after a minute if you see how this works. But you get the point, right? When the Gorgon came out incarnate, a lot of people had said, hey, this thing's garbage, and I guess it was, but just so you know, this is a newer video then, and it is definitely not garbage now. So that's been changed. They corrected whatever it was they were trying to do. And you can see obviously this thing is not garbage now in Steel Path. It obliterates.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area.
And this isn't a build video per se. This is just a show and tell and a conversation. And how good your build is dependent highly on your mastery and what you have got in this game. So your build can be far superior or it can be less superior depending on how long you've played this game. There we go. It does take a second after you shoot for it to explode, which the Kuvazar is faster that way. So I would almost put it at in between Tonker and Kuvazar, right? Because with the Tonker you get that second where you're waiting for it to explode. But with the Tsar it's an instant shot. Not instant, but it's faster, right? So, but you can see you can spam this, so I don't know why it'd be an issue. Alright, let me get some headshots in here. There we go. But you can see it performs really well in Steel Path. This is just a run and gun gloom pretty simple for non-long missions, just to come in and do some farming or what have you. The higher the levels with incarnate weapons, the quicker the charge up, by the way. So if you're trying to play non-steel path with an incarnate weapon, it doesn't charge up as good. So people can argue that, they'd be wrong. It's not. So one of the things I was like, oh, it's headshots, so it should be how many headshots you get is how fast your weapon charges up. That's not the way it works. And the higher the enemy, the faster the charge up. So I'll be in a really low mission where it's not steel path for farming something, and the incarnates don't charge up fast at all, and my headshot ability is the exact same. So it's a weird thing the way they do that, but I guess that's because and I guess I already know why they do that. The reason they do that is because they're like, well, it's powerful enough in these lower missions where you don't need it to be incarnate, right? So I guess that's the theory. It doesn't work out perfectly, but I see what they're trying to do. So, because without incarnate, a lot of these weapons just suck to begin with, but they did go and buff the crap out of the normal stats on a lot of these incarnates before they're transformed, so that's good. But see, you can basically just carpet bomb the whole place. There you go. Alright, I can leave, so I'm going to leave right now. And then, we'll get into how to get an incarnate weapon, and, you're going to have to play Deviri. Not the lone experience. You could play that for Parvo clamps. Let me take a look here, and I'll tell you.
You're running out of time. Consider it.
All right. So if you go over here, so when you first start playing Warframe now, you can choose to do the Davari quest right away when you start playing, and you can start doing this stuff here. One thing I want to point out is you can always check what Warframe you have and what weapons you have before you go into the circuit or the experience. The experience is where you get your clamps, all right, your Partho clamps for lack of pronunciation, and then over here you can farm. Let me see right now, the choices: incarnate weapons, you can choose 2 a week, and then normal, you can farm, like I just subsumed Nidus Boy there in this account. But yeah, so you'd have to do Steel Path for your incarnate weapons. So I'm getting a little bit long-winded. I don't like doing long videos that much unless it's for a specific reason. So there's different moods as well. This is fear right now. To me, it doesn't make any difference what mood it is. Maybe certain things that you farm might be more in certain ones. I do not even know. Do not even care, because I go in there basically for Parvo clamps in here. Sometimes I'll need a maw fang for an incarnate adapter. You know what I mean? So the maw fangs you get from the hungry fish thing. Yep. Yeah, my technical jargon is pretty crazy. So what I do, if I'm with a group, I'll do steel path, or if I'm farming, I'll do steel path experience, and then obviously steel path for the incarnate adapters in the circuit. But then say I'm by myself and I just want to run, fairly quick, and I'm not farming, I'll just do non-steel path, and I think you get 10 per time you kill the aura worm. So, like, I think it's 15 for steel path and 10 for normal. So you still have to do 2 for one weapon. So unless you're farming and you're like trying to get like 50 parvo clamps, it's not worth your while to do steel path until they change it to 20, right? Which it's been out long enough, they're not going to do that. So all right, so let's go to Zeramon real quick. Make sure I'm not on public. Go to Zeramon and go here. This is all basically filler. Probably most of you, if you're still watching, maybe you don't know about incarnate weapons or how to get them yet. So that'll help you. But most of you have already stopped watching this and just wanted to see how the Gorgon performs, which is great. So it's pretty good weapon. All right, so what we're gonna do is hit escape, go to fast travel, Cavallero. Then you're here you've got your what you've already collected, and you can basically change the decisions you've made with different ones. All right, so go out of here, and then here you've got the incarnate market, and you can get the Gorgon incarnate, like the Parthos clamps and all the stuff to make it, or put it on your weapon right here for 120 plat. The problem is you can only buy one. So say you do the Prisma and the Wraith, you can't just come and buy each one. You'd have to farm one of them. And you can, however, just so you know, I think everybody knows this by now, but you can pull off, no problem. You can go in here to Incarnon, and say I go up to my Gorgon. You can just remove the Incarnon right here. And then all that'll happen is you'll be out the Parvos clamps and the stuff that made it. So you'll have to refarm that. But the Incarnate itself will stay in your account, and you can put it on a different weapon. So, all right, guys, that's my video for today. It's much longer than I usually do, but hopefully you get the Gorgon Prisma or Gorgon Wraith. It really doesn't matter. They're both great. And probably I think I'm the only one that I've seen that's used the Wraith and done a video for the Wraith, which I kind of like doing. I also did a Boar non-prime video, I believe, and that actually is a pretty good setup with Riven. The one thing I will say is that I changed the build totally from when I did the video originally. So like my videos really now are not build videos, they're basically show and tells. So, but yeah, the Boar Incarnate non-prime with a Riven actually is really good. I just had to adjust my build somewhat from the time I did that video. All right, guys, get out there and grind. I will. And you'll never know which account I'm in.